Alright, pack one, pick one. Pretty decent equipment here for Bear's Blade. And starting off with a colorless pick is always nice, since that keeps our options open. We've got a Bodyguard, which is okay, not exciting. Quende is pretty exciting in the white decks. A lot of first strike synergies. And what else? We've got an Academy Drake, which is okay. Fire Intervention's okay. But yeah, I'm just gonna lead with the equipment here. Alright, second pick. I've got a Mirari Conjecture, which is not all that exciting unless you really build around it, which can be done if you pick it early. I've got an Arvat Accursed, which is okay. And that's it really. No other cards that excite me. Given that we started with the sword here, which somehow is not showing up. There it is. I kind of like picking Arvad here, since it does go well in black-white kind of aggressive decks with a lot of historic synergies, and doesn't go very well with Mirari Conjecture. So yeah, I'm just gonna take the Arvad here. Alright, here, best cards in the pack. Song of Freyalise, Rona, Blink of an Eye, Academy Journey Mage, so mostly blue cards. There's also Chronicler, which is okay, Ancient Animus. So I'm not really all that married to our second pick here. So I'm okay taking a blue card. Could just take Rona, and then maybe splash one of the two. It is a pretty big commitment to take another multicolor card this early. Song of Freyalise doesn't go all that amazingly with our first two picks. Kind of tempted to take the Rona. Don't want to take an Honor Guard this early, even though it does go well with our first picks. Kind of want to take the more powerful cards first and see which colors are open, go from there. I'll take the Rona here. What's the best card in this pack? Maybe a Baloth Gorger. There's also a Dark Bargain in black, which would go pretty well with our first two picks. And I do like having at least one Dark Bargain in my black decks. Don't think we want to take a Merfolk Trickster. And Baloth Gorger doesn't really go well with any of our first picks. Yeah, I don't mind a Dark Bargain here. Alright, so here we've got a pretty late Adeliz, but that's pretty far out of our way. We've got an Acolyte, just a solid black 5-drop. Could also take an Aven Sentry. So here for me it's between the Aven Sentry and the Acolyte. So we're more likely to be black than white, but we have noticed that in some of our previous decks as well, we're often pretty heavy on the 5-drops. I often say to myself, when in doubt, take the cheaper card, and the power level's pretty close here between the two. Could just be black-white and end up splashing blue or not playing Rona at all. Yeah, I'll take the Sentry. Here we've got a Trapper, which would be reasonable in a more black-white aggressive deck. And in black-white you do end up with a few more historic synergies than in other decks perhaps. And there's nothing else really for us. There's a Fire Intervention, which is okay in red. But I don't think we want to jump into red at this point. Haven't seen any great red cards in the previous pack. If this maybe were a great green card after seeing Baloth Gorger, we might jump ship. But I'm fine taking a Trapper here. Some more good green cards coming late. So green might be open. Past the Gorger, a Baloth Gorger, and now Spider and Thorn Elemental. In our colors, there's just a Sergeant at Arms, which is okay, not exciting. But it does go well with the Forebear's Blade. Having extra creatures to equip is okay. So I don't think we need to jump into another color necessarily. I think we can still stick to a white for now. But we should keep in mind that maybe green's open. Now there's no green, so it's hard to say. Border Weatherlight might actually be playable in our deck. We've got already 2 powerful legendaries and an artifact we can search up. Don't think we're playing any of these other cards, so might as well. Acolyte or Sergeant. Now I think I'll take the Acolyte. So pretty happy about being black-white, maybe splash blue so far. And don't mind one abomination. Small chance we play the opt. Chronicler is a better card here. Is there some way we still end up in red? Maybe if we like open a Siege Gang Commander, could still switch over into red. Yeah, I'll take it for the sideboard. Probably want to 2-drop over the Dredge Sentinel. Alright, so first pack went pretty well for us. But now we open a Tatyova, which we're not close to casting. But I guess there's also Blessed Light, so a nice removal spell for us. Hoping to somehow wheel the Thallid, which would be pretty good. Memorial would be good in our deck. And Adamant Will would also maybe be playable. But yeah, we'll take the Blessed Light and sadly pass up on Tatyova. Alright, another Arvad. There's also a Glider, Jousting Lance, and Call the Cavalry. So here I think it's between the Lance, Arvad, and Call the Cavalry. All reasonable cards. Wouldn't mind having a second Arvad. First Cavalry would be fine. Would also like to pick up another equipment, and Jousting Lance is a pretty good one. Although we already have a Forebear's Blade, so it's not as important as it would normally be. Do have to keep in mind that we're again maybe a bit high on 5-drops. So maybe that's a reason to take the call. And I mean, if we're the only black-white player in the draft, then Arvad might even wheel, which is not unreasonable. So I'm actually going to take the Call the Cavalry, mostly for curve considerations. Ooh, that's a nice one. Late Pegasus Courser and a Knight of Malice. So don't think we're taking the Acolyte here. I think it's between the Knight and the Courser. Two pretty good cards. Which one would we rather want? I think it's the Knight, but it's close. Yeah, the Knight is just more efficient, and we are black-white, so it's always going to be a 3-2. Alright, there's an Eviscerate. Pretty easy pick. Wouldn't mind having a Soothsayer, just as a kind of mana sink win condition with some of our token cards. But yeah, we'll take the removal spell. Ooh, hello. Getting rewarded here. Serra Angel and Vicious Offering. Taking the Serra Angel here. But good to know that we're in the right colors. So definitely getting hooked up. And there's another Call the Cavalry. Taking it over the Mesa Unicorn, I think. Don't mind a Unicorn. But again, I don't really prioritize 2-drops. Can't go wrong with more 2/2 Vigilance tokens. Alright, there's a Whisper, another legendary creature. Does go well with a small token sub-theme. So let's take a quick look at our curve. Looking pretty good. Can sacrifice some tokens from Sergeant at Arms, or maybe even a full Call the Cavalry. But if it means getting back something like a Serra Angel, that's pretty powerful. We also mill ourselves with Acolyte, so that could mill in some powerful creatures in our graveyard that we can get back. And it's a legendary that gets pumped by Arvad versus a 3-mana 3/2 that can sometimes stamp something down. I think the power level on Whisper is probably high enough that we should take her here. And there's a Yargle. Does synergize with Arvad. There's also another Dark Bargain, which I wouldn't mind. But I'll take a Yargle for the memes. And don't mind picking up an Adamant Will. And yeah, or Arvad Wield. Wouldn't mind a Clifftop Retreat for the collection. Soul Salvage would be okay as well, but we already have kind of some grindy cards with Whisper and Dark Bargain. So don't think we necessarily need another Soul Salvage. And we do have quite a few legendary synergies now. So I'll take an Arvad. Befuddle for the sideboard. I think it's more likely that we end up wanting a random 2 mana 2/1 as opposed to another expensive card. Alright, don't mind one main deck Invoke the Divine. Alright. So pack 3. Got another legendary creature here, Josu, quite good. Just as a 4 mana 4/5 menace. And it's in our colors, so it seems like a pretty easy pick. And we're passing a Thallid, which I wouldn't mind. Another Dark Bargain, Sarah Disciple is okay as well in our deck. But yeah, let's take a Josu. Ooh, hello, Danitha. Our legendary deck is coming together quite nicely. And then I wouldn't mind wheeling a Sergeant at Arms or another Call. So also want to prioritize equipment at this point. Another Arvad. Alright, I think 2 Arvads is probably enough for now. Let's see what else is in the pack. There's a Candle. There's another removal spell, Soul Salvage, which would be okay. Don't think we want another Rat. I'll take the Candle here. Don't have a ton of removal currently. And it is a historic card. And it also synergizes nicely with Rona if we do somehow end up playing Rona, but as is, we don't have any fixing, so Rona's looking a bit doubtful here. Alright, what's here? We've got a Unicorn, which I don't mind. And we already have too many 4-drops, so I don't think we want the Confessor. There's also the Omnivore, which is okay, but not amazing in black-white. So yeah, I think I'll take the Unicorn, mostly for curve purposes, as opposed to a Confessor, since our 4-drops are pretty stacked. Ooh, nice. It's a late Pegasus Courser, and not really giving up much. And yeah, I think I'll take another Unicorn as opposed to a Confessor. Alright, so another Arvad. How many Arvads is too many Arvads? There is another one that could wheel. I don't think this pick matters too much. I don't think we'll end up playing the card we take, so I guess we'll pick the Border Weatherlight in case we wheel another Arvad. Take a charge for the sideboard. Alright, another Dark Bargain. Don't think we'll end up playing it, but who knows. Alright, this is a reasonable 2-drop in our deck. And there's another Arvad. Don't think we'll play Healing Grace. Small chance we want a 3rd Arvad. Somehow did end up with quite a few rat colonies. Could have even had a 3rd or 4th. But I still don't think it's very good. Alright, so this deck came together nicely. Stayed in 2 colors. So let's see here. I think 17 lands is okay if we limit the number of 5-drops we play. Alright, I think the compromise is either we play 3 Arvads and no Yargle, or we play 2 Arvads and 1 Yargle, and then we might not have room for the Invoke Divine main deck. Alright, sorry Yargle. Maybe next time. Alright, 3 Arvad it is. I think we still want to win Grace, just to have a bit of evasion. This Whisper might not be amazing in our deck. Let's lay out the curve again. So, deck's looking pretty good. I think I actually want to cut 1 Arvad anyways, since the 5-drops are pretty stacked, and I think I want to play 17 lands in this deck. And now we still need to make 1 cut, I think. Yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 hits for Border Weatherlight. Is that enough? Probably. Do get to look at the top 5, but we will be cutting a Border Weatherlight. So this is our deck. And how's the color distribution like? Definitely do want more planes for the early game. Josu might be a little awkward on our mana, double black, but yeah, we still have a lot of other plays we can make if we don't end up casting Josu in time. 10-7 might be a bit too much though. think I'll try 9 and 8. Otherwise we're never casting Josuves. It's close. 10-7 versus 9-8. But I think I'll try it like this. Pick Arvad as our icon. Black-white legends. We finally have a theme instead of just a black-white stuff deck. We have a black-white legendary deck. Alright. Let's jump into some games. Might still go back and fix our mana if we see that we want the 10th plains over the 8th swamp. Alright, perfect draw. Do need to draw some more lands, but Unicorn plus Knight is a nice start. Alright, I think we lead with Knight of Malice, since that is more likely to attack past the opponent's 2-drop. Sure, we might miss out on a bit of life gain if our opponent doesn't play anything, but we also get to hit for 3 as opposed to 2. Alright, there we go. So nice start here. And drawing a land would be nice, since then we get to Dark Bargain, find another land for Sarah Angel. Black-green, okay. Fair enough. So now we can just attack with both pretty easily. Opponent's gonna block, and we're gonna be happy to use Adamant Will here. They take it, okay. Well, in that case I'm not forced to use Adamant Will. Letting our lifelinker connect is gonna make it difficult for them to win the race. Alright, they better have something big here. Sure. Alright, let's keep getting in there. Yeah, still don't feel pressured in using the Adamant Will here. Missing land drops wasn't great for us. But now their opponent's on a low life total, they might be forced to play more defensively, which gives us more time to hit our land drops and cast our more expensive spells. Alright, just a paladin attacking now. Alright, perfect. So, let's see, if we attack with a knight, opponent can double block with their 2/2s, or they can triple block or block Druid plus Evangel. And we don't really want to use our Adamant Will this turn, so I think I'm fine just playing a land and playing a Call the Cavalry, making a bunch of 2/2s, which can also block the Cabal Paladin. And then the 3/2 First Striker on defense plays pretty well as well. And then next turn we'll play the Flyer. Just want to make sure to stabilize the ground in case they can deal with Knight of Malice. Alright, that's a good one. Five doubles its power and toughness if it attacks alone. Alright, so could be in trouble here. If we do draw another land, we can Blessed Light. So I don't think attacking with everyone's gonna work out for us. Dark Bargain end of turn, or we can Dark Bargain main phase to look for land. Or we can play Aven Sentry and then attack in the air while chum blocking on the ground, and then hope to find a land for Blessed Light. I think I like playing the Aven Sentry here, but it's close. Yeah, Dark Bargain's an instant. But if we want to try and hit our land drops and maybe hit another land next turn to have a total of 6 mana, that could be a reason to want to Dark Bargain main phase. So yeah, can't take 10. I think we just chum block with the unicorn. Gain 2 life while we're at it. Keep the vigilance creatures around, which are probably going to be more valuable to us. Alright, Josuvas, 4/5 menace. It's not bad. Opponent's got 2 cards in hand, 7 mana. Think we just attack with our Aven Sentry, see what happens, and then go from there. Alright, opponent's at 4, so next turn, Adamant Will on the Sentry will be lethal if our opponent doesn't have anything. I think we just play Josuvas, and then probably chum block Grun with Night Token. Think that's better than Dark Bargain for land, for Blessed Light, since our plan next turn is to try and win the game. The problem is if our opponent finds an answer, oof, that's painful. Caked Allosaurus, killing the Sentry. Yep. And now we're in trouble. Might have to take 10 here. Let's see. So if we take 10 down to 4, opponent's got 5 blockers to our 4 attackers, but one of them has menace. Doesn't quite work out. Yeah, maybe instead of playing the Aven that one turn, we should have Dark Bargain to find a land for Blessed Light for Grun, but now it's too late. I think I take it. Still no land. Wow. There's a flyer in our graveyard, so Whisper can eventually get that back, but it's gonna be, I think, a turn too slow. Dark Bargain now probably just kills us, since it's also gonna cost us 2 life. Can play Unicorn as a chum blocker for a turn for Grun, I guess. So if we play Unicorn, we can chum block Grun if they just attack with him, but they might just attack with everyone, so how do we block if that happens? So we're not dead yet if they attack with everyone, and if they just attack with Grun, we can chum block with Unicorn, buy ourselves another turn. Think that's a play. Yeah, it's looking like even if we had used Dark Bargain the turn we played the Sentry, could have even just not found any lands at all, since we drew, I think, 3 non-lands in a row. Just a land. And the candle, oof, it's probably game. Yeah. Kill Josuvas, attack with everyone. Not sure what they're thinking about here. We're just super dead if they attack with everyone, right? Take 4, gain 2. And we're dead. I guess we could have had a trick. Yeah, if we had like a fungal infection, we could have won here. Or the other trick giving +2/+1. But as is, candle was kind of the worst case scenario. Yeah. GG's. Oh well. Even good decks can have some bad draws. We did keep a 2-lander, to be honest, so let's rally back. Yeah, this hand looks okay, especially on the draw. Get an extra look at the land. Alright, so here could play the Trapper or could play the Courser. I think I prefer Courser, since it also just blocks a Drake. And don't have any historic triggers coming up. This game we get to cast our spells, which are all pretty good. 2 removal spells in hand, another flyer. Alright, 4 Bear's Blades, not bad. So, I think we just attack with both, play a sentry if our opponent equips, and spends their mana that way. We get to kill their creature. Yeah, maybe after this game I'll add a plains for a swamp. Yeah, the Knight of Malice has been pretty great. Glad we took it over. I think it was another Pegasus Courser we could have taken. Alright. A random 2 mana 2/1. They could have some wizard synergies, I suppose. If they have the one that bounces a creature, they could double bounce, which would be quite good here. Ooh, Academy Drake staying on defense, that's good for us. Think we eviscerate the Academy Drake, keep the instant speed one in hand. Don't think the mana efficiency is gonna matter too much this game, since we don't have a 2-drop in hand and don't have land number 6. And yeah, just get to smash our opponent for 7 in the air. It's 2-turn clock. Hope they don't have the Journey Mage to bounce our creatures, I guess. So, Blink of an Eye, Journey Mage. Those are the cards that can interact, but our opponent doesn't have them. Alright. And this is how our deck is supposed to work. So let's make a small adjustment here. Extra plains instead of a swamp. On the draw, yeah. On the draw I think we can keep. On the play it would be a bit sketchier. Do still need to draw a few extra lands, but there we go. Nice curve here if we keep drawing lands. Alright, that's a historic trigger for the Trapper. So we can tap something down with the candle. Baloth Gorger. Ton of legendaries as well for the Trapper. Yep, there's a Baloth. Alright, so let's hope to draw a swamp soon. It's pretty much all the 5-drops in our deck. I think the only 5-drop that's not in our hands. Let's see. Yeah, it's the 3/2 Acolyte flyer. Alright. Spider's not bad here. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So we could double block. That's very bad if our opponent has the Animus. Could take 7 down to 9. Hit them back for 6 if we get rid of their blocker, which they're gonna play afterwards. Man, if we can find a swamp, play Josuvas, step down their blocker, have a blocker for their stuff, we probably just win. Think we take it. Only got 7 swamps left in the deck, or actually 6 now that we changed it. No blocks. Scouts. Yeah. That's literally our last 5-drop in the deck that we draw. Oh boy. So do we attack? Can attack for 6. Put them to 5 if they don't block. They probably have the Ancient Animus fight card here, but... Alright, maybe not. We're not that on board. We'll see. Well, I'm glad we cut the third Arvad. Yeah, and that's game. Opponent turns their lands into 2/2s. We're playing 17 lands in this deck. Maybe 18 is okay, but these were literally all the 5-drops in our deck that we drew. Maybe we cut a Whisper for a land. We do also have Sergeant at Arms, which we can kick, and the Blade, which we can move. So having one extra land doesn't hurt. And I don't think Whisper is doing much for us, besides being a legendary. Alright, let's see if we draw lands this time. Definitely think our deck can win 6 in a row if we don't get unlucky. I think just with average draws we can probably beat most opponents. It's a bit land heavy, but okay. Alright, there we go. Opponent has a Sheep and Fire, maybe? Alright, opponent kills our 2-drop, that's fine. Ooh. That's a good one. 3 mana, 3/3 trample. Alright, we do have a decent curve this game at least. Opponent didn't do anything on turn 4. So either they've all expensive cards, or double green cards, or removal spells they didn't want to play. So it's tempting to double block here, but I think we want to wait until we can Adamant Will. Alright, opponent missed a land drop 2 there. Another Sheep and Fire, so pretty tempting here to Adamant Will to save the knight, or we can just let it happen, play an Acolyte, which I think is better. Otherwise we end up wasting 3 of our mana. And we made our opponent use their removal spell on a knight token as opposed to on our Acolyte, which is good. And next turn we can Dark Bargain plus Adamant Will. Think I'm fine attacking with everyone. Think our opponent's gonna be out of cheap tricks they can play. Let's find out. It's a bit risky into 4 open mana, but looks like it's gonna work out. And we can play this at instant speed. Alright, they finally found their 5th land. Fire Elemental, not too impressive. Let's see if we can find a removal spell. We can't. Alright, and now we draw all the lands in the world. So I guess we're just attacking for 3 in the air. So Acolyte in 2 turns gets there, otherwise we'll need to draw something else if they answer it. I imagine if your opponent had like a Mammoth Spider, they would have played it last turn. Alright.
Getting warmed up.
Opponent's making mana, that's scary. Third Sheep and Fire. Alright, fair enough. Ooh, that's a good one. So we can equip the Unicorn, attack our opponent with everyone. Yeah, they're forced to block the Unicorn. So block Unicorn, take 1 and then 4 more. It's gonna work out. And I don't really care about Planeswalker here. Get to move the equipment. Opponent's at 1. Any creature we draw with the equipment here is going to be great. And we're still at 20, so it's going to take a while for the opponent to kill us. They can take a look at a lot of cards with their second +1 ability, but they'll need to find something pretty good here. Opponent discards a bunch of beefy Fire Elementals and Skizzics. Alright, got there. Alright, we're mounting a comeback here. The sand's okay. Nice early start, and then hopefully we draw into our more powerful cards along the way. Can't always have our Black Knight in our opening hand. Think I'll lead with the Unicorn. Get in those early lifelink hits. Nice curve here. Deathbloom Thalad's pretty good. Think we still attack with both, play Call the Cavalry, and ensure opponent gets to gain some value with the Thalad. But we don't have any enablers in hand currently, and we have to trade with the Thalad at some point. I guess we could also Adamant Will plus Unicorn, which is reasonable. But I think we want to keep the Adamant Will for later. So maybe we can attack into a larger creature that we would otherwise not be able to attack into. Alright. Bunch of 2-mana 2/2s. Fair enough. And there's Arvad. No 5th lands yet. Think I'm fine just trading and playing 2 more 2-drops here. Alright. 2 5-drops in hand, no 5th land. Now I think we're cashing in the Adamant Will. Opponent could have the pump spell technically. But now if you draw a land, we're gonna be busy playing 5-drops. Don't have the double black for Josuvas, punished. Dark Bargain, opponent's down to 6. Think we're still okay here. At 32 life, we have a lot of time to draw our lands before they turn it around. Sure, 4 mana, exile our creature. And there's a land. Think we play Josu since he's lethal by himself through a blocker. Cast down, can't kill Josuvas. Alright, show me what you got. Yep, it's not gonna do it. And let's play Arvad just to pump Josu. Alright, sweet. We'll wait with opening our pack here. Alright, black-white legendary deck. When we draw our lands, it's quite good. This hand's quite good. Danitha plus Blade is a nice combo, giving this 3 additional power on a life-linking Vigilance. First strike creature is quite powerful. Voltaic Servants, sure. So which 3-drop to play? Could lead with a Trapper to bait out a removal spell. I've got the Blade to tap something down. Or we can just play Danitha, which is our most powerful 3-drop. Force them to use removal spell. Next turn, go call the cavalry. Yeah. Make them kill our Danitha. And if they don't, we get to start gaining life. And this also curves better into call the cavalry into Arvad pumping Danitha. So we'll take 2. Paladin, sure. So we get a pretty free attack, since if they double block, we kill Paladin and they can't kill Danitha on the way back. But they might just block with Servant, still get to gain 2 life. A flying Paladin is pretty scary, but next turn Arvad's gonna be pretty great with Danitha. Dredge Sentinel, sure. This is gonna be great. Arvad pumping Danitha, quite a combo. And then next turn we have the option of playing Blade and equipping, or playing Trapper, playing Blade, tapping something down. So they need to answer the board here, otherwise we're gonna gain too much life. And then we still have the Blade coming, so I like our spot here. Alright, Sarah Angel, not bad. But is it gonna be enough? I think we prefer playing Blade equipping over playing Trapper, and then we can equip Arvad, attack with him and Danitha, or we can play Trapper, play Blade, tap down Sarah Angel, attack with both Danitha and Arvad, gain 7. That's also pretty tempting. And yeah, the Death Touch plus Trample is also very relevant. Maybe given the Blade we want to just preserve the creatures that we have rather than trading. think I'll go with the Trapper play just to try and prevent our opponent from maybe trading off Angel for Arvad and then finding an answer to Danitha. Then we could be in trouble. Alright, we're at 20, points at 9. So we will have to figure out the implications of an instant speed removal spell on Arvad, shrinking down Danitha. Just a land to draw. So yeah, worst case scenario, your opponent has like a Blessed Light for Arvad, shrinking down Danitha. So it's probably the safest to equip Danitha in this spot. Gideon's Reproach would also be annoying, no matter where we put the Forebear's Blade, unless we attack with multiple creatures and then the blade will get moved before damage happens. I think we want to play it safe, equip Danitha, attack with her, see what happens. This is just a chum block. Alright, Danitha did have trample thanks to the blades, so that worked out. And do we move the blade somewhere? Don't think we do. So far so good. Alright, 6 mana, 5/5 trample. What if we equip Arvad, Death Touch plus trample? Yeah, I think I like going for the more aggressive line here. Yeah, I think they're dead on board here actually. Since they need to put at least 2 creatures in front of Arvad for him not to be lethal. But then there's still another creature getting through. And yeah, just need to make sure to assign 1 damage to each and then trample over for the rest. Yep. Alright, sweet. Alright, we're rallying back here. This draws okay. If we draw any land, we get to cast Trapper. We've got the candle to enable the trigger. So what 3-drop can they play? There's a couple 3 toughness ones. I think we trade. Yep. So I like the fact we trade there. Play a Trapper. Well, let's hope to draw a Swamp soon. Alright. We'll take it. Nice. Alright. We could play Candle to tap down a blocker, but I think I prefer attacking. Opponent's probably going to block with Honor Guard. It's okay for us, since then we get to Dark Bargain. Opponent could also take it if we attack with the Trapper, but that seems unlikely. And if they do, so be it. Yeah, opponent's actually taking it. That's fine. So we will take quite a bit of damage here, but next turn Arvad can stabilize us. Our opponent also needs to Maybe play around Gideon's approach. Another Sergeant, sure. Alright, those are both good, but we don't have the double black for Josuvas. So I think we take certainly Blessed Light, then do we take Swamp or do we take a Josuvas that we can't cast yet? I think I prefer to take the Swamp since that gives us land number 6 to activate Candle. It's close. Yeah, I'll take the land. Another Arvad. If we attack and they have a removal spell for Arvad, that would be pretty painful. I guess we can just play Arvad, tap down the Sergeant. Although I would not mind trading Trapper for Sergeant here, to be completely honest. I don't really like staying on defense with the Trapper either. So removal spell on Arvad would be bad, but not the end of the world, since we still have a second one. Yeah, Blessed Light is not amazing when the opponent has a bunch of inexpensive creatures, but you never know. Opponent could go land Serra Angel, and then we'll need it. Opponent's got 2 mana up. If they had a Gideon's Reproach, they probably would have attacked and then used on blocks, so don't think they'll have a Reproach here. And Adamant Will also seems unlikely. So, don't think they have anything for 2 mana here. I guess they could have a Seal Away. Yeah, Seal Away would be decent, but we can Blessed Light it. So, I think the play is Candle, tap down a 2/2. And I'll just attack with Arvad. Kind of hoping they double block, since then we get to play another one. Yep. Alright, so they couldn't deal with the first Arvad. Will they be able to deal with the second one? Still have Candle plus Blessed Light as removal and Adamant Will. Alright, so it looks like we're kind of stable here. Alright, so here I think I use Blessed Light on one of the blockers, so that we can still Adamant Will in case of a top deck Gideon's Reproach. Although then a Seal Away would be painful. If we use a Candle, we can't use Adamant Will, and I don't think we would just want to let damage happen. The problem with Adamant Will is that if our opponent did top deck Gideon's Reproach, they get to respond, and then we're in trouble. We do get punished if they Seal Away now. But Seal Away is the uncommon versus the common Gideon's Reproach. Healing Grace. Sure. Did also prevent us from gaining the life, since the damage got prevented by Healing Grace. Alright, so now we have enough mana for Candle plus Adamant Will, which is relevant. Still think we're just attacking with Arvad. And if they double block, think the 2/2 is more annoying. We'll use a Candle. And now I'll play an Honor Guard. Alright, in a good spot here. Still have Adamant Will to push through a big blocker. Like the Sarah Angel. Do they have another Healing Grace? Fair enough. A legendary would be great here with a Trapper. So if we attack with everyone, they can block a 3-2, take 8 down to 3, or we can just attack with Arvad and they might just take the trade. So how aggressive do we want to be? Since if we attack with everyone, they can block the Trapper. They take 8 down to 3. Yeah, I like attacking with everyone here. And next turn we'll reconsider whether or not to attack with everyone or not. We'll see how the board looks like. It did work out in a funny way where we had to kind of use the removal spells on these tiny creatures as opposed to on worms or Sarah Angels. Alright, opponent with a Sparring Construct. So now we can just attack with Arvad. Opponent's gonna either jump with a Construct or trade for the worm. If we attack with everyone, then they go to 1. Yeah, attacking with everyone's probably okay here still. They could block a 3-2. Jump Arvad, take 2 down to 1, and then they have a worm with a +1/+1 counter versus Unicorn and Arvad. Or we just attack with Arvad, give him the trade, are left with Unicorn and Guard, which are both 2/2s. It's a close decision. I think I'll send. Alright. In hindsight, not taking Josu didn't work out great for us, but still got there. Alright, so we're 5-2. This is kind of the minimum I would expect with this deck. So on the draw. So this hand could definitely not draw lands and fail. But we are playing 18 lands now on the draw. I think we have to keep. And there's plenty of 2-drops in the deck as well we can draw into. There we go. Alright, opponent off to a quick start here. Alright, let's hope to dodge a Shivan Fire. Opponent did miss a land drop. And they didn't Shivan Fire end of turn, so maybe a Gideon's Reproach. Nope. Otherwise they would have attacked, is my guess. Sweet. Getting there. Feels good. Okay then. Well, that's a turn 4 win. And now we're 1 win away. And we already made our gems back. Nice. Yeah, maybe I should have put in Yargle just for the last match here. On the play, no black, so Josu Vest is pretty far from being cast. But we do have a turn to Unicorn. If we draw one black source, we can probably find a second one. So this hand's below average, but I think we keep. Turn 1 Confessor, wow. That's aggressive. Alright. So do we play the candle or do we keep it in case of a trapper? I think we actually play it, since if we do draw a swamp, our next few turns are going to be pretty spent on mana. Alright, opponent's got a plan here, and that's to curve out and beat down. But this is actually going to work out nicely, since attacking with the 2/2 Unicorn into the 1/3 Pegasus is kind of a free attack just to gain the life. So our opponent's not going to suspect the Adamant Will. So it's always nice when you get to get a free attack and then use your combat trick. But we still haven't found our black mana, so yeah, could be in trouble here. Opponent's also on black-white, a lot more aggressive than we are. Chain or Stormant. Alright, fair enough. Usually this card's not very good unless you are an aggressive deck, and your opponent playing turn 1 Confessor certainly is trying to be an aggressive deck. But we just get to Acolyte here, so that's nice. Mill some lands. So next turn they get to lose half their life and make a pretty big token. Oof, Ariel. Yeah, that's a good one. Not gonna block since this has first strike. And this guy has Manus. Alright, so Ariel, not a bad one here. I think we just want to use a candle, so playing the candle a few turns ago paid off. So next turn our opponent will, if we attack for 5, they will lose 8 life and get an 8/8, which we'll have to deal with. It's probably fine. So they'll take 5 down to 15, take 8 down to 7. Facing Acolyte, Unicorn, and soon Josuvas, which has Manus. So yeah, I think that works out. And I think we'd rather kill Ariel right now before they get to make any more tokens, since that makes Josuvas a lot more scary for the opponent, as opposed to when they have a bunch of blockers out. And this also means we get to attack with a Unicorn, which is pretty relevant. Alright. And if we ever draw Eviscerate or Blessed Light, we can deal with the token. Sergeant at Arms, quite good against Giant 8/8 Nightmare Horror, so got quite a few options here. All of them are defensible. Josuvas is the more aggressive play, but I think we'll start by attacking with the Acolyte. They might have a removal spell for it, and that's going to change our play as well. Alright, Gideon's Reproach. We already went through our Adamant Will. Alright, so the most aggressive play of Josuvas now is less tempting since their opponent's not at 4. Could Sergeant at Arms, which should make it tricky for the opponent to attack with the 8/8. Could still play Josuvas and take a hit from the 8/8, or force them to keep it back, which then buys us more time to play Dark Bargain, which I like. How much is this to kick it? It's 10 mana, so we're not really close to kicking Josu. I don't think that's a plan. Could also Dark Bargain, find a land, play Sergeant unkicked, But I think we want to play it with kicker here. So I think the plan is play Josu, force the opponent to stay back, and then if they do stay back, we can Dark Bargain. If they have a removal for Josu Vast, then we might have to Sergeant at Arms. Alright, this worked out. So we're down to 17. Opponent did not have an answer to Josu, and a Cabal Paladin instead. Alright, so if we were to attack with Josu, opponents can double or triple block. I guess they would block Stronghold Confessor plus the 8/8 token, so that wouldn't work out well for us. So I think this turn we're casting Dark Bargain, and not at immediate risk of dying. And can probably draw into a 2-drop here that we can play, Eviscerate, perfect, and a Blessed Light. So I think we just take both of those. Could also take the 2-drop that we can play this turn, and then next turn have one removal spell for the 8/8. Attack with everyone. But this game's gonna go for 1 or 2 more turns, so just taking the 2 powerful removal spells seems worth it here. And we could play Sergeant as a 2/3. Playing Sergeant, killing the 8/8 does open up some interesting attacks. Alright, I'm gonna play the Sergeant here. Since we're probably gonna tap out next turn, for the next 2 turns with our removal spells, so we won't have time to kick the Sergeant, and this might open up an extra attacker. Opponent's attacking with the 8/8. It's interesting. I think we just take it. Let us untap. So now we can attack with everyone. They might have removal for Josu, but then we just kill the 8/8s, so that's only fair. And if they double block Josu, we also have the option of killing the Paladin, but that's a bit risky with the 8/8 there. So I think attacking with everyone, let the trade happen with Josu, and then keep a Blessed Light for the 8/8, or maybe Eviscerate on off turn, we'll see. Alright. Alright, reproach a Unicorn, sure. So we could now decide to kill one of the opponent's creatures, but then we down the way back, so that doesn't work. Alright, let damage happen. And now, do we Eviscerate or Blessed Light? Eviscerate loses to Adamant Will from the opponents, so I think we keep a Blessed Light. Close game. Oof, never mind. Opponent draws a Fungal Infection. Yeah, glad we took the Eviscerate earlier. Attack him for 2. It's gonna be an interesting finish here. Opponent says go, and hello Sarah Angel. Nice to see ya. So opponent can Fungal Infection the Sergeant and then double block it to kill it. And we get to kill the Disciple, play Sarah Angel. I think that works out. Adamant Will the Disciple instead. Sure. Keep the Fungal Infection. It's not going to be enough to beat Sarah Angel by itself, so it's going to be top decks deciding the game here. Opponent does get to chump block Serra Angel for a turn. Feral Abomination is lethal by itself, but we can chump block with Serra Angel. And Knight of Malice can also chump block, so this is going to work out well for us. Attack with Serra Angel. Opponent's forced to chump block. Knight of Malice can block the Abomination. And then Serra Angel can attack for the win in the air, so let's just hope they draw a land here. Arvad does not do it. Oof. Good games, opponents. So we rallied back after getting mana screwed in the first 2 games, or first 3 games, I don't remember. Managed to get the 7 wins with our deck, which I think is probably the best deck we've drafted so far. Time to open our packs. Where we get to add to the vault, Chain or Stormont, a nice souvenir from the last game. Alright, we're pretty close to opening the vault here. And a Tashar, not bad. Get to open the vault here. Bam! Mythic wildcard, 2 rare wildcards, 3 uncommons. Let's claim those. I also want to thank all my patrons for supporting the channel, and you can do so yourself as well over at patreon.com/LegenVD, where you get cool rewards for supporting the channel, as well as getting us closer to our goals, where with every goal reached we will release an additional weekly series. So if you want to see more content, Patreon is the place to go.